be wondering, what's the point in reading this book? There are many reasons you should, and the plot is one of them. It's very interesting. Here's a brief summary. Holden Caulfield recounts the days following his expulsion from Pensy Prep, a private school. After a fight with his roommate, Stradlater, Holden leaves school 2 days early to explore New York before returning home, interacting with teachers, prostitutes, nuns, an old girlfriend, and his sister along the way. J.D. Salinger's classic, The Catcher in the Rye, illustrates a teenager's dramatic struggle against death and growing up. And now, let's hear from the author.
On the hunt for the most prestigious interview, we've caught the uncatchable, the author of The Catcher in the Rye. Please welcome J.D. Salinger. Welcome, J.D. Salinger. How are you?
I am doing pretty good. How are you?
Well, as a hermit, I don't think you'd be able to understand all my life problems at this moment. But great try. So, as we go on with your story, since everyone here has already read it, let's start right in.
Okay.
Do you think that Holden, your main character in your story, reflects any part of your life?
There's a lot of symbolism from when I was younger in the book that Holden is the character that happens to. His flunking every class except for English, that happened to me probably multiple times. Dropping out of school and switching school a lot, that happened too. I dropped out of New York University after a year and left to go to England.
Moving right along. So, was anyone like a father, professor in your life very supportive or motivating for you through all your dumb and smart choices?
My father was very supportive of all my decisions, even the ones that were not smart and particularly stupid. Such as the most major ones, probably when I decided to drop out of New York University after my freshman year and travel to Paris to continue my creative studies and writing. My dad supported me through all of that. I'm not sure why he did, because it wasted a lot of time and money that I could have spent doing other things that were more productive than something I'm never going to use again. But for some reason, he was super supportive. He never second-guessed me or anything. When I came back from Paris, I was at Columbia University, and there was a Professor Burnett there. And he kind of started my love of writing. He was an editor for a magazine, and he published some of my early short stories in his magazine. And then later they were in more prestigious ones, such as The Collier and the Saturday Evening Post. And he kind of just really inspired me, and I don't think I'd be the person I am today if I hadn't have ever
Now,
met him.
on to a more daunting topic. Did your time serving in the war affect your scenes of war in your story?
Most definitely. In the book, at the beginning, I think Holden kind of represents me, but as it goes further and further into the story, DB kind of transfers into the person that represents me the most. His experiences with the war, he absolutely hated it. He thought there was no point. They just needed minions in their game. They didn't actually need him there. And that's kind of how I felt. The war has left me with some really strong emotional scars, and I really don't want to remember a lot of it. And DB feels the same way, and so I kind of took out my emotions in the book, and it kind of helped me to feel a lot better about it afterward, because I had written down my feelings in writing and gotten them out to the world.
Now, last question. Would you promote this book to younger children?
Possibly. Depends on their parents' standing. There's a lot of colorful language, some inappropriate scenes, but if your parents are fine with you reading it, I'd be fine. I think it's a great story. It's inspirational. I think it tells you, be who you want to be. Don't let others push you around. And so if whoever you're staying with or whoever's in charge of you is fine with you reading it, I would definitely recommend it to anyone who wants to read it.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Salinger.
Thank you for this opportunity. I don't really do this much.
We all know.
sorry about that.
Still not sure? How about we watch a clip from this famous book?
Hey, Horowitz, you ever pass by the lagoon in Central Park? Down by Central Park South?
The what?
The lagoon. That lake, like there, where the ducks are.
Yeah, what about it?
Well, you know the ducks that swim around in it? In the springtime and all? Do you happen to know where they go in the wintertime, by any chance?
Where who goes?
The ducks. Do you know by any chance? I mean, did somebody come around in a truck or something and take them away? Or do they just fly away by themselves, go south or something?
How the hell should I know? How the hell should I know a stupid thing like that?
Well, don't get sore about it.
Who's sore? Nobody's sore. The fish don't go no place. They stay right where they are. Right in the goddamn lake.
The fish, that's different. The fish is different. I'm talking about the duck.
What's different about it? Nothing's different about it. It's tougher for the fish in the winter and all than it is for the ducks. For Christ's sake. Use your head, for Christ's sake.
All right. What do they do, the fish and all, when that whole little lake's a solid block of ice? People skating on it and all?
What the hell you mean? What do? They stay right where they are, for Christ's sake.
They can't just ignore the ice. They can't just ignore it.
Who's ignoring it? Nobody's ignoring it. They live right in the goddamn ice. It's their nature. For Christ's sake, they get frozen right in one position for the whole winter.
Yeah? What do they eat then? I mean, if they're frozen solid, they can't swim around looking for food and all.
Their bodies, for Christ's sake? What's the matter with you? Their bodies taking the nutrition and all right through the goddamn seaweed and crap. That's in the ice. They got their pores open the whole time. That's their nature. For Christ's sakes. See what I mean?
Oh.
Want real authenticity? Listen to real customers state their real reviews of this book.
Some real Amazon customers left some great reviews. This person gave it 5 stars. They say, time has not damaged this tome. It remains a sometimes harrowing, sometimes absorbing, sometimes frustrating, sometimes moving look into a mind in a state of disarray. Another one said, it's rare that a book with such social significance and impact comes along. Although this book is now a classic, crafted by J.D. Salinger in 1951, its message and importance is still relevant to this day. And another that also gave it 5 stars says, any book that elicits this much of a response is certainly powerful. Is it a good book? This is a good book. Why? Holden is one of the most believable characters ever written. One Amazon customer said, what's not to love about Holden Caulfield? Perhaps one of the first and most distinct voices in young literature. Much of what young adult literature is today can be attributed to J.D. Salinger's voice in Catcher in the Rye. Holden is so angsty and honest, and true to his character, and it's so easy for young readers, especially, to become fast friends with this protagonist, to feel that finally someone gets them and their plight. It's such a special book, an experience really, to read this book at a young age. But having reread it as an adult, while it wasn't the same type of magic it held for me all those years ago, it held magic just the same. Salinger was a masterful writer, and Holden such a special character for the readers to behold.
Oh, it completely bogged. Okay, I gotta drive down here.
Hey, Horowitz. You ever pass by the lagoon in Central Park, down by Central Park South?
The what?
The lagoon, that little lake, like there, where the ducks are.
Yeah, what about it?
Well, the ducks that swim in there around the springtime and all. Do you happen to know where they go in the wintertime by any chance?
Completely messed that up. My hair's gonna change.
He supported me in going to London.
Mhm.
No, where did I go?
Paris.
Paris. Mallory's going to Paris.
Continue? Yeah?
He supported me in going to Paris
What if I just took off my glasses halfway through this?
and supported me doing the writing.
Are they gonna tell
I can't
automatically?
see anything.
I can't either. Are they gonna tell all of a sudden how tired we were of each other?
Ew, 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 ew.